Just give me right now, right now. Just give me right now, right now. Just give me right now, right now. Just give me right now, right now, right now, right now.
Hey guys, so welcome back to another episode of LACIOLOgy. All right, so real quick, before we get started, if you are listening to this podcast on a podcast streaming source, you can also find the video recording to this podcast on YouTube. You just have to go to YouTube, type in LACIOLOgy in the search or Lacie and Freshie Productions, and voila, it'll pop up. If you are watching this podcast on YouTube right now, then I want you to know that you can find this podcast on a podcast streaming source. All you have to do is go to pretty much any podcast streaming source and type in LACIOLOgy, and bam, it'll pop up. So we are continuing our Freshie takeover today with the talk sex video.
Yikes.
Are you nervous?
Yikes.
We talked about what we're going to talk about.
I know. Now I got to put all my business on. It's different when we talk about stuff. But now I got to put all my business out in the world.
We really didn't talk about it. We talked about we went over what the topics were going to be today. I think these are fun topics.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, I think these are good. So we're pretty much just going to talk about the differences between, studs and femmes, or masculine presenting women, as I like to say, and feminine presenting women. And then also, I want to dive into a little bit of homonormatives.
Wow. Okay.
And the stud community.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay.
So, my first question, it's always the same first question. How would you define sex?
To me, sex is a emotional connection to my partner. It is a reflection of mood as well as intimacy and affection.
So you only have sex with your partners?
For the most part, I don't. Even when I was single, I wasn't out here in these streets. I really had to like you for me to have sex with you.
I concur. Have I ever had sex with somebody I didn't like? All right, so
So you don't want to dive in that, but you better ask me questions. Who is this hoe?
When you're young and you're just trying to explore yourself and figure out what you like and don't like, but you're not a hoe. You may find yourself having sex with different kinds, not all kinds, but different kinds of people, just to see if if you like it or not.
Okay.
And sometimes you just gotta fuck somebody just because they look like they're good. Good person to fuck, or you like.
I just don't like.
Something.
I don't like women. I don't like being felt like I'm an object. So I don't want women to feel like they're objects. So if I don't like you, if I don't have any intention, like if I don't like you, there's no reason for me to fuck you, because now I feel like I'm just using you for your body. Which you just kind of concurred that.
Is your vagina a person, or is it an object on your body?
Still, I don't want people to just be like, "Hey, bro," you know what I'm saying? I don't.
No, you don't gotta walk into some girl and be like, "What up, ho?" And you don't gotta be like, "Let's fuck." You don't gotta like meet a girl at the club and be like, "Let's go back to my place." But I do think that, and we talked about this before, and we differ this way in our lives, which I think is so interesting. It's actually very cool. I feel like when you're young, that's the time to like explore with like dating and sexuality and illegal things and substances and alcohol and just
the whole shebang.
Yeah, I really do. Like, I feel like that's just a part of figuring out who you're going to be as a person. Because when you're younger, I think I remember being 17 and feeling like I know myself. I won't even say 17 because I wasn't actually. I remember being 20 and being like, I know myself. I know myself to the full entirety of how I could know myself, but I didn't. And at the time, I was still exploring all types of different things and different kinds of relationships.
Yeah, and I didn't. That's cool.
You do yourself. Do you feel like at that age or at any age, because you haven't explored very much with like different kinds of people sexually, not to say you haven't explored sexually, but just with different kinds of people, do you regret that, or would you say that pretty much what you thought about who you were going to be is who you are? Did that make sense?
The second one. I feel like who I thought I was going to be is who I am. Yeah, but that makes sense. I don't know. It's kind of crazy because I have a higher sex drive, but I just don't know. That's
You don't need to be with a plethora of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good with just
My partner.
doing something consistent with one person.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
I do think consistently with just you.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking about other stuff.
Like what?
I've just always been like just that one person or this one person.
Oh yeah.
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 Well, are you talking about my past?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys can relate. When you're young and you're just kind of dating to date, or like dating because you don't want to be lonely, you know, that kind of thing. And you might find that in those little like pointless relationships, you'll cheat. Is that really considered cheating anyways?
Yeah.
All right. I feel like if you're in like one of those relationships where it's not going to be forever, and it's not, you're young, this is your boyfriend or this is your girlfriend, but it's probably not going to be your husband or your wife. I feel like, why are you wasting your time just being with them? That's stupid.
I agree. However, it was just my life didn't go that way.
That's because you felt like you knew who you wanted to marry when you were super young, and I think that's cool that people are able to like have that when they're 18, or 19, but I didn't.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Like the ages that I was in a relationship with somebody, with the same time frames that you were just out here.
I was never just out here, ho. First of all, you're not going to come for me on my own podcast.
You won't. Yeah.
I was in relationships too.
I know, but you
probably wasn't the best partner.
Yeah.
But what makes a bad partner, anyways?
I don't know. Tell me about some of your experiences.
Well, how do I say? I don't know. I really do feel like if I'm just dating a girl, just casually dating her, or even exclusively dating her, but I know she is just not going to be my wife. We're seeing each other just because. I don't feel that bad for, going to a club and possibly making out with some other girl. I don't feel bad for that at all. And I don't feel bad for like going on dates with other people. Because for what? Like, why am I passing this up for somebody who I know I'm not going to spend forever with?
So why are you in a relationship with a person? Why don't you just talk to him?
I think it was just when I was younger. It could have just been out of like loneliness. And also, you like the idea of being somebody's or being with somebody. But then you also like the idea of having like consistent vagina or consistent D at the house. So even if like I go out and I flirt with somebody, or I'm going on a date with somebody, or I make out with some stranger, I'm not having sex with them. That's still my consistent V or D at the house, and I'm just gonna go there.
I met you at a great time in your life.
I was fun back then. You should meet some of my friends. I'll tell you some crazy stories. All right, so let's talk about this real quick.
All right.
Let's get off me. Okay? Because I feel like I'm being interrogated right now, and I don't like it. I want to talk about some homonormatives. All right? Actually, I don't. I want to talk about some stereotypes, because I like to talk about stereotypes first.
Okay.
So, you're a pretty aggressive stud type.
I've been told, yeah.
Right. And so sometimes when we have conversation with people, and he is never one to like be super forward with, her sexcapades. But on the off chance that we do talk to people about sex, and she'll give a little bit of insight, people are shocked when they find out that you're not like a touch me not, or like one of those stud types that just straps girls down, which I like to think are still Dutch me nots. So there's that.
It's interesting.
I do. Is that weird?
Yeah, because just because I strap you, that don't mean that I'm still not gonna tell you can't touch me.
But a lot of times, a lot of studs do. You guys exist. I've only ever dated at one time. You guys, I made a mistake, and I fucked around and dated a touch me not. Long story short, that obviously didn't work out. But sometimes when you guys are way more masculine and don't have a lot of like femininity that you express or accept about yourselves, a lot of times what I've learned from talking to people is that there are a number of studs that don't consider themselves touch me nots, but all they do is like strap chicks down. In my mind, if you're not letting a girl eat your vagina, touch your vagina, scissor your vagina, nothing your vagina, not even see your vagina, you're a touch me not. Because you don't get any pleasure from being touched, right? So when we're in conversation with people and they find out that like you're more open with
Things.
what
do you finish the sentence?
In bed, they're shocked. Because they would think that because you're so masculine presenting, you're not. How do you feel about that?
I think it's crazy. But that's my reality. And just like, I'm still a woman, so my little area wants to be pleased as well. So
My Little Pony.
I was literally singing that in my head. Is that weird? But yeah, it's just I'm still a woman, so I want to be touched. Like,
do you find that a stereotype you face is people expecting you to be like strap happy?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I probably could never be in a club and somebody doesn't expect that I'm gonna. It's like if that were to happen, I was out here in these streets, so they probably gonna expect me to have a strap just to have sex with them, and I'm like, I wouldn't be that type of stud that walks around with my strap
In a backpack.
Yeah.
Would you wear it?
But no. But I did have a friend that did that. It was kind of weird. But I would, if you like, hey, can you come over? Bring my strap. But I wouldn't like
just bring it.
Yeah. Like I have to know.
Did you bring it the first time we had sex?
No.
Oh.
No.
Did you think we'd have sex?
Yes. Definitely did.
The smile on your face. Why? What made you think we're gonna have sex?
Because of how things left off when I left, and the kisses that we shared, and the moments that we had together.
Did you? Okay. Oh, okay. So, you know, in our community, with melanated lesbians, a lot of times people expect stud types to kind of have the upper hand when it comes to sex, if that makes sense. Like, I find myself in a lot of conversations with people studs that expect themselves to know more about sex and pleasing a woman than me. Right? Do you find that, like, yeah, you haven't really been out here in these streets, but you've had, you know, your own sex partners. Did you ever find that people expected you to like take the lead and just know more than them in sex?
Well, I've never really had that type of conversation. Like,
but you know, like, but you can feel it in the moment.
No, but I just feel like being aggressive and having the capabilities of being aggressive, I can just take the lead. So whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just do it. If we strapping, we strapping. If we not, we not. If I'm licking, I'm licking. If I'm not, I'm not. So it just happened. But it wasn't ever like an expectation or just kind of like them wanting me to do it. I just naturally kind of just took the lead.
Sometimes when I talk to femmes, one of the things that like we really hate is that when it comes to being intimate with stud types, you guys have like this, like, not you personally, but you guys as a collective have an idea of like how sex is supposed to go with us. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of times we can't always like be the dominant one or the aggressive one or really take the lead for real, because it's like studs get like in a zone of what they feel like they're supposed to do.
Mhm.
And then they expect you to just kind of follow.
Right. That's a whole conversation on its own.
Right. And I hate it. It's so annoying. I was afraid of having sex with you.
I know.
She knows.
They don't know. You can tell them. Why?
Because I just didn't, because of how you look. Honestly. Because of like how you look and how you come off, I just thought, oh, I know I'm going to hate this. Or what will she like let me do to her? Because I really didn't, I was expecting you to be like one of those like, if not touch me not by like label, one who like is like strap heavy and like wouldn't let me explore any of your body.
That's crazy.
So annoying.
So when I didn't pull out the strap, were you surprised?
No, because I had already told you that I didn't like strap, and that's the reason why I told you that I'm not like a strap kind of girl.
Yeah, I was walking in the mall with my homie one day, and we literally are on the phone just talking sex. So we're talking about straps and fingers and all this other shit, and I'm literally just walking around the mall casually having this conversation. And I was a little bit nervous at first, but it was just kind of like,
oh, because I was telling you like what I don't like.
yeah, and I'm just like, literally, this is all of what other women like. So I'm confused, and I'm not saying everybody, but all the women that I've dated or had sex with like this. So it's like, all right, cool. I'm going to have to come with a whole different approach. I'm cool with it. Let's go. And so there's that. The other thing is I really try to pay attention to you, and I just try to pay attention during sex to see what you like and what you don't like. And then I stop it if you don't, you know? So it's just more about, like, sex isn't just sex. Like, I'm actually trying to please you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I talk to girls that are like, oh my gosh, I hooked up with so-and-so or this, you know, stud type, and she was just trash, or she was just garbage, or yeah, I'm not doing that again. Or then like they do it again, and they're just like, bitch, why'd you let me? Why didn't you talk me out of it? I always feel bad because in my mind, I just couldn't imagine being with a partner who didn't pay attention to like.
Yeah.
Do you feel, what are some stereotypes that you feel like you face as a masculine presenting woman?
Sexually?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like I feel like, I think we talked about this before. Like, as a stud or masculine presenting woman, you should know how to use a strap. But I also know a lot of friends that are studs that don't.
Really?
Don't own one, nothing. And a mutual feminine friend that you know dated one of my friends, and that was the major thing in their relationship, was just kind of like she would not use a strap, like wouldn't go buy one, like wouldn't nothing. And she just like, I just don't want to use anything that isn't my body. Like it's just, I don't want to do it. And so they ended up breaking up, and then it never worked. Well, at the end, she tried to buy one for her and just like, I'll try it because I really like you. But it just wasn't her go-to thing.
Right.
So there are some studs that will not use the strap, but it's very few from my experience of all the people that I know.
Why do you feel like studs don't want to let femmes strap them?
Well, just like you, because you don't like penetration, there are some studs that just don't like penetration. So I don't want you to touch me at all. I don't want you to strap me. Some studs don't use toys. It's just, you know, I just feel like women are women, and we can choose our body, or we like different things sexually. So it's hard, you know, just because I'm masculine presenting doesn't change the fact that I still can choose to not have penetration or to have it. Or enjoy it.
When I was younger, when I was like a little baby, rainbow friend, I did a touch me not, right? Which was so crazy. But for the time frame that I came out, I feel like there were a lot, like the number of touch me nots had just
skyrocketed.
Yeah. And a lot of masculine presenting women felt like they had to fall into this homonormative of, well, if I present myself masculine, then I can't assume any feminine traits at all, or characteristics.
That's definitely a stereotype.
And so, right. And so when I dated this Touch Me Not, I genuinely, like, I was so young. It's my first girlfriend, but it wasn't the first woman that I was ever with, or it was the first woman. It wasn't the first female I was ever with. And I remember, like, telling myself, like, dang, this might have to be, like, what it's like. Yeah. And that sucked so bad. And I was just kind of like, this can't be. And so I ended up seeing this other stud type who is not an aggressive stud at all. She was honestly just gay. So not necessarily masculine presenting, but just comfortable, like white people gay. And then we messed around, and she didn't use a strap at all, but she also gave me like the worst head I've ever had in my entire life. Literally, it was so bad. And I was so sad that I risked my relationship for this. But yeah, so being with somebody else, even though it was trash, I thought to myself, there's no way I could just, there are different kind of people out there.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
This doesn't have to be like, fuck it, I'm going to just break up with her because I can't live this way.
Right.
And then for a long time, I wasn't with women who used toys at all, right? Like, it was just not a thing. No toys. And then I remember when I was like closer to 25, I was 24, I think. I was 24 when I got with a woman who was like, oh, she had never used them either. We had decided to explore sex toys together, right? And she was much older than me. She was already in her 30s. And she had never been with a woman who desired or used sex toys. So I definitely think it's a stereotype. But I think that, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, it's both a stereotype and a norm.
How?
Because I feel like, even though it is so stereotypical to be like, oh, she is stud, so probably all she do is strap. That's so stereotypical because there are studs out there who don't. But it's so, you find so many women that do walk around with like their backpacks with their straps in them, or keep them in their cars, or.
Yeah, I think it's crazy.
So when you get into like some
But
studs.
how you keep your strap in the car when it's hot?
Some studs keep condoms in their car.
Well, that
for
makes
their
sense.
strap.
Dudes leave condoms in their car.
But we're lesbians, right? But so like when studs literally have their own box of condoms in their little center console or their glove compartment, that's so crazy.
You've experienced that?
To me? Me personally, no.
Oh.
But I do know of women who keep like, I'm friends with women, who keep condoms, but no. First of all, I'll fight you.
Yeah, but I think it just to me it just makes sense. Like, I don't think I've ever been anti-toys, like, ever, but that doesn't mean I've always dabbled into it. And for me, I have to have a sense of comfort to even talk to you about that. Like, I guess what would be an expectation for me is that unless I could see myself settling down with you, I wouldn't even bring up other things I'm interested in. I literally would just use the strap. Or not use a strap, but really? I wouldn't do toys or anything like that.
Ooh. Okay, question.
Okay.
Yeah,
you felt like you were raising your hand.
Yeah. Okay. So sometimes when I talk to studs and they talk about, like, because we live in the day and age of hookup culture. Actually, I'm not even going to say we live in, because it's always been hookup culture. But hookup culture is a certain thing when you're, a certain age. Okay. So sometimes when I talk to some studs and they talk about, like, hooking up with girls, one of the things that I hear a lot of them say is, like, I won't go down on females unless I really want to, like, date them, or I really like them, or I'm already dating them. Why?
I don't know. I feel like I'm like that, though. I feel like, I would want to be like that. I haven't really experienced it to say that, but I don't know. It's just like, I'm sorry to bring this back up, but it's just like a dude, right? A lot of women won't just meet a dude and just randomly suck his dick. Some of them will wait, and then, like, then do it.
These hoes be out here sucking.
I was like Boomerang. in the show we just watched Boomerang, and he just met the girl that day. They went to the house. He was asked her if you could suck me off or whatever, and she was like, "No, I don't even know you like that," and she left.
Oh, when I saw that, I took that as a play on the stereotype that Black women already don't give head.
No, that's not what I read at all. So with me, it's just like, all right, especially in Atlanta, if I were to see some random chick in the club or whatever, my initial thought isn't, if I get you home, I'm gonna eat you out. It'll probably be like strap. Cause I'm scared I'm gonna catch some shit. Like, just,
So then why would you go home with somebody who
makes you uncomfortable?
off top makes you worried?
But I'm not a serial dater. Like, I'm not that person anyways. Like, I can meet somebody in the club. I think I want to be that type of person, but I haven't been. Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like the wrong thing to say to your fiance?
What? That I haven't been?
No, that I want to be.
No, like,
that's it. Get your shit.
We speaking like hypothetical. It's just kind of like, I think I would want to be just out here in these streets and just going like blah blah blah.
And then
blah.
she said it again.
But that goes back to like, to me, that's like an object. To me, your body is just an object, and I like value women more. So I just like to be committed in my little circle. And if I feel comfortable, I'll tell you, I want to try new things.
And she thought I was gonna bypass it if she kept talking. First of all, what you mean? So wait, hold on, just
run it back.
For my peace of mind, you wish that you would have had those experiences. But
yes,
you don't want
obviously
to be that
I can't
kind of
obviously I'm in a relationship with you, so I'm not out here thinking about this.
Though your wording here is
what
tragic.
What are you doing?
I can't.
What?
I cannot. I'm so sorry that I'm keeping you from living your best life out here in these streets.
I'm saying, like, obviously, I'm in a relationship with you, so I'm not saying that this is how I am in this situation. However, if I were single, because that's all I can, I've been in relationships, so all I can do is hypotheticals. So it's like,
you said with the last girl, not me. I wish I would have been this person. Not I want to be this person.
But then you'll be like, oh, really? You wish you would have?
No, I don't care about that.
So I'm holding you back?
This is now. Don't want to be that person now, but
yeah, I'll just be out here chilling. You stop.
No, I'm mad at you now.
Stop.
So, okay. Let's talk about some differences that we face as feminine and...
Uh-oh. We have a cat coming.
Uh-oh. Can you guys hear my cat yelling? What?
Don't look at her. Maybe she'll go away. Nope. If y'all are watching, listening to it, our cat just jumped on the couch. And typically we kicked them out of the room, but they were sleeping. Chloe has risen. All right, what's up, baby? Come on.
So, what are some differences that you feel like you and I face as feminine presenting and masculine presenting women?
Some differences that we...
Do you ever feel like feminine presenting women have it easier than masculine presenting women?
In what way?
Always.
No. I mean, I can't really... honestly, me and you changed kind of my mindset of women just because you don't penetration isn't your forte. Like, it's not your go-to thing. And you don't really care for it too much. But everybody else that I've met loves penetration. So it's like my mind is now not trained different, but I think a little bit more openly to it. So, I mean, yes and no. I think the differences would be just probably the fact that all femmes don't need or want penetration, especially from like a strap.
So how did you used to have sex before me?
It's a strap. Or not. I would, but like, for example, I've only used a strap with Lacie once in a year. Once. And that's when she asked me for it because, again, she told me off rip, I don't do this type of thing. So I was like, cool, I'm not even going to suggest it. And one time she did, and that's when we did it. But in my previous relationships, I would use the strap, or if I just don't feel like getting out of the bed, like if I don't feel like getting out of the moment to get out of the bed to put it on, then that's another thing. But if I already have it on and I'm initiating sex, that's another thing too. So it just depends. But I didn't need it, but it was also something like she liked penetration. So
sometimes you would just have it on and then initiate sex.
Like, I would meet her in the shower with it on, like, you know, stuff like that. But I don't just be walking around the house with it. Or like the question you asked me earlier, I've never worn a strap in public. Like I don't really care for it that much, but it is something that, you know, she liked, so we did it. And it was something that I enjoyed, so I did it. So, but it wasn't a necessity.
All right, so let's talk about comfort. So a lot of what we talked about is kind of, you know, different types of stud types and how there are some stud types that are touch-me-nots, some that don't consider themselves touch-me-nots, but kind of are.
Right.
And some that are just not, you know, they're still women and they want, you know, their little pony tickled. So something that I've encountered, not have encountered, but I've realized in conversation with studs is that there are just some women who just aren't very comfortable with their body. And a lot of times those women turn into studs or masculine presenting women just to kind of like hide their body, and because it's just more comfortable for them that way, right? Because not everybody wants to walk around in high heels and a mini skirt. But for you, as a pretty aggressive presenting stud, to still be comfortable enough in your body to want somebody to still please them, to walk around naked, to just...
I love it.
Do you feel like you had to like become comfortable with your...
Nope. I've always been like this. I used to walk around my mama's house naked when nobody was home. Oh. Like, I love my body. I like looking at my body. I like showing off my body. I did nude modeling for a while, or paint. I meant like paint, like body paint. Yeah. I had a couple people do body painting for me. Well, not for me, but it was for a show. A couple of shows. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I just always been like that. I'm not gay because I don't like my body, or I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I love my women. I love women.
Now, I'm not saying you're gay because you don't like your body, but sometimes, you know, I encounter women who are just not as comfortable in their body as other women are. And a lot of times, like, they don't even explore their own body enough to let someone else explore.
Yeah.
Their body.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of hard for me to talk on, because like I know my close stud friends that I've had for a while, like we all just be out here, like whatever happened, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're into toys. Some of them, you know, let their girl strap them, so like we're all just kind of not sexually fluid as far as like men and women, but you know, we're still women, we want to be pleased. So I can't really speak on the people that don't like it and that you know, are also not ashamed of their body, but just aren't comfortable with showing it off. You know, yeah. Like I can't. I don't experience that, so it's hard to talk for somebody else. You know.
I don't know.
What, speaking for somebody else? I feel
like I could speak for all of you. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I can imagine being uncomfortable in my own body, and that definitely can dictate. You know, I don't. Like I know some studs now here that I've met that have never had sex with a man. And so...
Have you?
Yes.
Okay.
That don't want to be touched down there and stuff like that. So I know some touch-me-nots, but it's also their lack of experience. They just haven't desired or craved any penetration from day one. So that's why they're more likely to be like, I don't want to be touched down there. There are some studs that have been, you know, sexually assaulted and they just don't want to be penetrated. They're, you know, it's a lot of different leaves on that tree.
I like the leaves on the tree thing. I like that a lot. I may use that. And if I do, no, I won't say I got it from her. I'm gonna just act like I created it. Okay? So there's that.
You guys heard it here first.
All right, so that's cool. That makes sense. I completely understand that. Let's talk about what do you like? So, you know, because I'm trying to like get a good feel of like studs and just like the mindset of you guys, but you're straying away from that a lot. So, let's just talk about you. What do you like sexually?
It depends on who I'm with. I, with you, am very comfortable with almost everything. So I want to experience almost everything. different type of toys, bondage. Most recently, threesomes we discussed. Like, I'm cool with all that stuff now. But prior to, and probably if I met somebody new, if I'm not comfortable with you, I'll probably just keep it to the basics. Just like strapping and oral.
Do you really feel like that? Or do you, not to say that you don't know yourself, but, do you think it's a matter of like, cause you're like, oh, if I meet somebody new, then I probably won't. But I feel like you're pretty comfortable expressing.
I think you're devaluing you. I was with somebody for 7 years and I haven't experienced half of the shit that you and I've experienced in a year. So I feel more comfortable with you to express those type of things with me. And even when Nina was on your podcast and she was like, if you meet somebody and they're comfortable with you, they'll show you a whole different side, that you would have never thought was there when she's strapped studs. So it's like, if you're comfortable, you'll let somebody in to that extent where you're sharing all of this, that, and the third, where before it could have just been a curiosity or you never felt comfortable enough to present it to somebody else. So yeah, I'm still gonna, hopefully we work out because
We're not working out
like, obviously,
because she wants to be out here in these streets, but obviously she's in a relationship with me.
That's not what I said.
That is literally what you said.
Hey, drop it in the comments if you were thinking that that's what I was saying when I said it. Obviously, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. So it's like, I feel like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling, like we good. And I'll tell you if I want to try something new or experience something else. Hopefully, if you want something else, you'll tell me. But I just feel like I'm open and comfortable enough with you to talk about those things with. Why are you quiet?
I think I'm stuck.
Why?
What else should I bring up?
But what about, let me ask you a question. So, dating more, you said in one of your podcasts that you enjoyed sex more with femmes because it's just kind of, I guess, easier. There's not like a dominance type of thing. You just kind of go with the flow and just do not regular girl shit, but like just girl shit in the bed. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm scared.
So how is it for you to adjust to dating someone like me where I do want you to like do things to me? Because I'm more masculine. And there's some things like bondage, for example, that you're not really into for real.
Yeah, but being into bondage doesn't have anything to do with being feminine or masculine. I think that women are just women, and when people are like, "Oh, so what kind of girls do you like? You like the feminine ones or like the boy looking ones?" Right? And I tell people the same thing. Like I like women. So if you have a vagina, your vagina is like edible, because not all vaginas are edible. If your vagina is edible and you're a good person, then I could possibly be attracted to you. That sex wise, I prefer, if I date a masculine presenting woman, I prefer her to be comfortable enough with herself to kind of like lower that like expectation line that I feel like sometimes society places on you guys that you end up like subscribing to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I can get with a masculine presenting woman who lets me do things to her or is expressive and explorative when it comes to sex, like a feminine presenting woman, then I'm perfectly fine. The only thing I think I would have to adjust to is if I was with a masculine presenting woman that didn't explore during sex.
That makes sense.
Then I'd have to adjust to that. But there's no adjustment.
That makes sense.
Women are women. We might wear different clothes and, have different personal beliefs and have different haircuts. Some of us might wear makeup and some of us don't. But at the end of the day, if I strip it all down, we're all women.
But that's how I feel about, so I didn't mean to steer away from like the stud stereotypical questions and stuff you were asking, but I honestly just feel like we're all women and we're all just so different that, You know, there's a handful of studs that I could name right now that are touch-me-nots, but there's also a handful of studs right now that I could say want their girl to strap them, and there's a handful of studs that just kind of like in between both. So it's like everybody's. It's such a large scope that we could have a whole group session of studs, and sometimes we get in arguments. There's some studs that's like, bro, you're not a real stud if, you know, you allow your girl to finger you, or you're not a real stud if you allow your girl to have sex. And I'm just like, why? I don't understand why that should dictate what you label yourself as. If a stud is more masculine presenting, it doesn't say anywhere in the definition that a stud does not and cannot accept penetration.
Right.
But that's what society puts you in that box of.
Right. And a lot of times that's our confusion as feminine women that like women. Unless you're one of those gay girls, quotation marks, that date touch-me-nots, I don't trust you guys. There. Threw it out there.
But why is that why did you say that?
If I meet a feminine presenting quote unquote lesbian who has only ever dated touch-me-nots, and this is a real thing, so she's never actually done anything to a woman. She's never actually explored another woman's body. She never actually did like any physical pleasuring to another woman outside of kissing her touch-me-not. I don't know how gay I would say you guys are.
I feel like there's going to be some comments off of that statement.
And I'm okay with that.
It's just, I think, well, I can't speak for them, but I feel like some women just enjoy women. But I can see where you're coming from because you haven't really pleased a woman or have experienced actually having sex or pleasing another woman.
Ooh, brings me to another question. Okay, so, this is good. How do you feel about feminine presenting women who don't expect to go down on you? Have you ever encountered that?
I haven't encountered it, but if I did, I'd be like, but you can go. Because honestly, like, if I'm going down on you, like, but if she's assuming that I don't want it, that's another thing too, because like you said, a lot of people expect studs or some studs to not be touch-me-nots, but a lot of feminine women want to touch them anyways. So I'll be all for the shits. I feel like if I encounter that, I'm just kind of, so you want me to do everything to you, but you don't want to do anything to me? That would not work at all.
Like you ever like hear or like see those like memes or whatever on social media where girls basically along the lines of like, I will be gay if I didn't have to eat cat.
Right.
It's like,
what's the point?
What you mean, bro? Or like, I've met some like stud types who, in telling you like, you know, their horror stories from their sexcapades, and they've just been like, they were, you know, going down on a girl who wouldn't go down on them. And in my mind, it's like,
I couldn't do it. I literally couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Nope. Because, all right, so when I was younger, I was a touch-me-not. I wasn't over what happened to me, so I didn't want anybody to touch me. I got pleasure from just pleasing them. Now, older me, it just kind of like, nah, this gonna have to be mutual. Like, hey, if I'm going down, you going down. Like, we gonna do what we do. But
what if when you and I got together, I didn't go down on you, and when we talked about it later on, I said I don't think I ever could.
Oh, we wouldn't be where we are. I'm telling you, I could not do it. I enjoy sex too much for me to not be able to get pleased like that.
Huh. Interesting. All right, let's talk about celibacy.
Okay. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So you don't hear very often. I know that there are, because I have met a few lesbian women who become celibate. Oh, we have one on Black Love right now. But you don't hear it a lot. A lot of the women who are celibate are always heterosexual women.
Right.
But would you be able to be celibate until marriage in a relationship?
If you ask me that, then yeah, I would do it for you.
Let's be celibate.
Look, I know you're on your whole like
Cleanse my life.
yeah, but we got to talk about when we're getting married, so I know how long we're not having sex, and then yeah, but I would do it for you.
All right, let's be celibate.
Now, if I met somebody, I don't know if she's being serious or not, and then she gonna throw this dime on me on air. So it's like I would want to be for you, but that's not saying that we're doing that now.
That's like whenever we're talking and I'm always like, I always imagine myself as this person.
Yeah,
But I'm not.
it'd be tough. It would be tough. Now, if you were serious, we would literally have to have that conversation
All right.
off air. If you serious.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I would do anything for you.
So look, the last time I brought up celibacy, she was like, no. It was a no for her, dog. It was a hard no. What changed?
What do you mean what changed?
Because last time we talked about celibacy.
When was the last time we talked about it?
A few months ago.
When was that? Was it before?
At first, I asked you if we had met and I was celibate because we have dated, and you were
That's
like,
different.
no. And then I said, what if I said, can we be celibate now until marriage? And you said no.
Yeah, I wondered when that was.
It was just a few months ago. We were watching. I think it's when we took that month off from work. I brought it up like 4 times now.
Yeah, but you just be asking a lot of hypothetical questions, so I never know when you're serious.
True. I do. I love a good hypothetical.
I don't know. Again, like I just said, I would do anything for you and support you any way that I can. So if that's something that you genuinely to the core would want to do, again, that's a conversation we can have off camera. But you know, if I want to be with you, I want to go through your stages as well. So
All right, let's talk about cheating.
okay.
All right. So, like in a regular heterosexual relationship, when it comes to like cheating, obviously it's like P and the V. That's an obvious bitch, you cheated, right? In a lesbian relationship, what is cheating?
Well, I feel like you wouldn't consider kissing cheating because you've said that I would be in a space with my partner and go kiss somebody randomly at the club. But I feel like anything outside of that then would be considered cheating to me. Like fingering somebody else, definitely eating somebody else out, strapping somebody else. Yeah. Although I do feel like if a woman with a strap and boxers on fucks another woman, technically they did not have sex.
What?
I remember I was in the car with Ryan Bailey. He's a professional track and field athlete, and he did bobsled and skeleton too. We were in Calgary, and I was like, I feel like women are the only like people that can have sex without actually being fucked. Because with the guy, you had to stick a dick somewhere, and even if a guy and a guy, you still gotta like the dick guy go somewhere. But with women, you can just add a strap on and just technically fuck somebody else without them touching you at all. Not saying
So if somebody strapped me, I didn't cheat on you?
I was talking about the person doing the action, not the person receiving the action. So the person receiving the action, yeah, you got fucked, so you cheated.
So if I
don't condone this, by the way.
No. But it's not cheating. So what is there to not condone? You guys, my cat is licking the
No, she's trying to bite it. But
so if I was to strap somebody, I technically didn't cheat, so there's nothing to condone or to not condone.
No, I still would consider it cheating. I just said I feel like that they didn't actually get fucked by fucking somebody else. But I still consider strapping cheating, oral cheating, fingering cheating, anything outside of, in this day and age, kissing is considered cheating. Even though I used to think and still kind of think kissing is cheating.
You literally just told me, like, what's this month? This month is April. You told me in January kissing was still considered cheating.
Literally, that's what I said. I still feel like it is.
Oh. I mean, I do too. I think if you didn't talk to your partner, like, if you're in a relationship with somebody who you know, might make out with someone else, like there was this time, you know, then it's like, did they really cheat on you? If you know them.
Right.
When I was in my previous relationship, I loved this person or whatever, and we were engaged and everything, but I like to have personal freedom, and I like to be able to make the choices that I want to make when I make them. So there's that. I super duper like my independence, and so my ex, I never I wouldn't be out here, having sex with somebody else or anything like that, but she kind of had to get used to, I guess, the idea that sometimes you might look over and Lacie might be making out with somebody else. And there was this one time we were at a day bar, and we were there with like some of her friends. Well, everyone was her friends that we hung out with. So we were there with her friends, and I lived on super popular, like touristy island. So we're hanging out with this big wedding group from somewhere. I don't know. We met them at the bar. And so we're all hanging out or whatever all day. And like some of her friends came, and like some people that we like would see out. We were just like, hey, just come chill in the daytime at, whatever. Anyways, I don't remember who there. I was sitting right beside her. And then on the table right behind me, there was this white girl. And I was like, I never made out with a white girl before. Right? I don't remember why we were even talking about this, but I had never made out with a white girl. And so she's like, I never made out with a girl, period. And so I'm in this conversation with the people behind me and her. And she was a friend of she's actually a coworker of my ex. And my ex is in conversation with some guys about, I don't know, sports or something next to me. And so somebody in my conversation was like, well, I dare you guys to kiss. And I was like, okay. And she was like, okay. And so we just started making out, right? Like,
did you use tongue?
Yeah. We're full on making out. And somebody like got her attention, and they're like, bro. And so she turns around, and I'm full on, making out with this white girl. And it was a really good kiss. She was a really good kisser. I was kind of surprised. I'm not gonna lie, but it was cool. Anyways, I think maybe that was like the one time she was maybe a little bit upset because it was her coworker. But then it wasn't like enough to be like so mad she like stormed off or made a big deal out of it, because that was just kind of like my personality in that relationship.
Yeah, I'm the type of person that probably wouldn't have been okay with any of it.
I know. I know. So I don't do that now. But
oh, so I'm stopping you from being the person that you want to be.
Yeah.
So okay.
You thought I was gonna.
No, I didn't think that. I knew you was gonna say yeah, but all right. I actually didn't mean what I said, but you did. That's cool.
Yeah. No, because you say you went back in these streets. I'm more fluid, and I think everybody knows that I'm more fluid when it comes to sexuality and just the expression of sexuality in general.
Which I think is interesting that you can be so so not friendly, but like so like happy when you're around like other people, to the like excited to a point where you'll kiss random people, but you actually don't have that high of a sex drive.
Mm-mm. So I'm not out here having sex with people.
Well, I know, but it's to me it's still all sexual actions.
Yeah.
So it's like you could literally not be touched or be on separate ends of the room with me or whatever, but like could just go kiss random people if you wanted to. Like it's just weird. It's interesting. Not weird. It's just interesting.
No, you're right. That makes sense. I feel like maybe I never thought about it, but you're right. I think it could just be that whole I haven't had that yet, or I don't know, because before previously I was a heavy social drinker as well, and so if I'm out when I'm drinking or I'm drunk, I will say it's almost like an out of body kind of thing. And I'm not the same. I'm more reserved at home because I'm sober at home. But then when I'm out, I'm less reserved because I'm less sober. So you're going to encounter like a different me. But even if we're out, I'm all over you. Right?
Yeah.
Or if I'm like drunk, then I'm all over you. But if I'm sober, I'm more reserved.
Mm-hmm.
And so I won't be. So I don't think it has anything to do like having less excitement being with you than other people. I think it just has to do with my
Well, not me
intoxication.
personally. I was just saying in a
Yeah.
relationship.
No, it's true. And if you guys are ever dating me, then you'd know that Lacie at home is like sweatpants and like hoodies, and I'm gonna be over here and you be over there, and that's cool. And then Lacie out is like not that at all.
I kind of miss going out with you.
It won't be the same
I think
anymore.
it balanced. Yeah, no. But I think it did balance before like that. Like not having it at home, but we would go out so often that you would still like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of like balanced it out. So it's interesting. We'll see how this goes. I'm joking.
No, we will see how this goes because I'm definitely more reserved. I have a reserved personality. Anyways, I might say crazy things, but I don't do a lot of crazy things unless I'm under the influence of something.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's interesting.
At the day bar, I was obviously drunk,
Right.
making out with this white girl. But it was cool because I never met a white girl before. And I feel like this. I feel like, when it comes to being in a relationship with somebody, I may have spoke on this before in a different podcast. I'm not sure. But we treat people like property. And I've always felt like you don't own me and I don't own you. And even if me and Kia get into an argument, or if she's like about to leave, or she's like, you don't care that I'm going anywhere, you don't ask where I'm going, or you whatever, it's because I don't own you. So you don't have to check in with me. I feel like just being an individual, if I want to do something, like if I've never made out with a white girl and here lies attractive white girl who I could make out with, as an individual, I should be able to make the decision to make out with her or not. And if you want to date me, the individual person that I am, then you also have to date my personality. And my personality is, if I want to experience that, I'm going to give myself the freedom to experience that. Also, if the person that you're dating doesn't like that and you're dating them and you know that they don't like that, then compromise and maybe don't do that.
I think it's a choice that you have to make for yourself.
Right.
Because you have to then say, all right, well, do I want to date this person that I know isn't comfortable with this or not?
Right.
Cool. I didn't want to make it seem like I forced you to not be that person.
No, you're right. And I have made the decision to date you, completely understanding that my dynamic with my, even my friendships with people have to change from what I was used to before.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
You're so cute. Oh, man. I feel like this podcast did not go off what we actually started it as.
True. We're just going to talk about love, life, and the pursuit of happiness here. Subtitle, studs. This is what we do during quarantine and chill, guys.
Facts.
During quarantine and chill. But this is a good conversation.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Def. Let's talk about boundaries then when it comes to relationships.
Okay.
Right? Because I don't feel like I have a lot of boundaries. I think mine are just don't do things that could negatively affect me.
Mm-hmm.
But still be you.
Yeah.
What are yours?
Don't cheat on me. Don't have me out here looking stupid. Whether that's verbally, you're sliding, Chloe.
Yeah, she's been sliding. She's up here first.
Verbally or sexually or physically, like just don't. You know what I mean? Don't disrespect me and have me looking stupid. That's all. But other than that, we good.
How do you feel about open relationships?
Are you asking me like because you want to be in one, or you just asking me in general?
General. No, I'm just asking you in general.
I think that works for certain people.
Yeah.
You know? But again, that's conversations that people typically have off camera.
I'm not saying I want to be.
No, but for real, I think people talk to their partner and they come to an agreement. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Or this is what I want to have. Or this is what I don't want to have. And if it works for them, then it works for them. I'm not going to judge you because y'all are happy.
Right.
That's how I feel. But that's how I feel about a lot of stuff. What you do, what you eat don't make me shit, bro.
We're talking about you personally.
Yeah. So, I don't know if... Let's just say, hypothetically, in a year or two or next month, you came to me and said, I want to be in an open relationship. At that moment, I have to think to myself, do I want to be in this or am I not okay with that? And then make the choice then. But, like, me personally, I don't want to be in an open relationship, but I've never been asked to be in one. So who knows?
You're going to be in an open relationship?
Are you asking me? Or are you just, like, I don't know. I would have to think about it.
I don't think I could be in an open relationship with you.
Why?
Because I don't need you loving somebody like you love me. Fuck.
I like that answer.
I don't know if I could actually... No, I could. I feel like I could definitely be in an open relationship. It would just take off so much pressure.
Yeah.
For me. But then it might even add anxiety. Because all of what you don't do, you could be thinking someone else is doing for your partner, and then it can make you feel like less than.
I think that's why I am not really into like poly, is because of that.
Yeah.
Or like typically I don't know, but how I would think a poly relationship would work is you have a woman that you like, and then all of what that person doesn't give you, somebody else would. And so to me, it's just kind of like, I'm always going to be kind of like, well, what the fuck? You know what I mean? You spending more time with this person, or y'all doing some more of this, y'all doing da-da-da-da. Like, to me, it's just kind of like, I don't know. So I feel like I probably shouldn't be in an open relationship. I think it'd just be more jealousy and stress.
When I was in my poly relationship, fucking crazy, you guys, real quick. I know this isn't YouTube, but story time. This is really crazy. So I'm in a poly relationship, right? With my ex and some dude. And she's the one who wanted to be in a relationship with this dude. And I was just like, all right, cool, we could try it. And so it was Christmas time, and we had all went to different places for Christmas. You know, I didn't want to spend Christmas with her family. I didn't want to spend it with my family. She didn't want to spend it with my friends. I didn't want to spend it with his family. So we all went completely different. It was 1 year. We all went different places.
Crazy.
So we were all supposed to come home on Christmas so that we could still spend Christmas together. Mm-hmm. And he didn't take a flight. He stayed in the States, so he had to drive down, though. Well, something happened with her flight, and it got delayed. And so it got delayed for a day. So she didn't come home until the day after Christmas. He and I were closer to each other. I had flown back to the state. He was already in the state. We were only maybe 2 hours from each other. So he was like, well, do you want me to, I was like, but I'm not going to drive back down. I'm going to just go to a hotel and wait for her to get home so we can drive back down, together. Cause one of us had a rental. I don't remember which, we only took one car to the airport.
Okay.
So, yeah. So he was like, do you want me to come spend the night with you? Cause we're only a couple hours from each other. And then we could all leave on, the day after Christmas together. And I was like, nah, it's cool. I'm just going to wash my hair. You guys, I'm black. It's a process. So I was like, I'm going to wash my hair and just relax for the night. And then I'll see you guys whatever tomorrow. Right? Okay. So she was like, oh, my plane is supposed to leave at whatever this specific time. That's what she had told both of us. So he was like, okay, cool. I'll start driving back down towards where I was and where her plane was coming in so that I could see both of you guys, and then we could drive back home together. Mm-hmm. Or he had his own car.
Right.
So something else happened. Her flight got delayed again for a couple of hours, but he had restarted driving down. So he and I were just talking, and we were just like, it's cool. Like, we could at least have lunch because it was getting kind of late. And so we were like, we'll have lunch and then we can always wait for her together. Normal. There is nothing abnormal about that. Nothing, right? So we're in Fort Lauderdale. He liked Fort Lauderdale a lot. I hadn't really explored it. So he chose an area for us to have lunch. We had lunch together. We went to a bar, had drinks like wine, not like hard liquor. And then we like walked like on a promenade. It was cool. We were just trying to kill time waiting for her.
Sounds like a date.
It was a date. We were literally dating. but that it wasn't abnormal. Like we didn't Right. So when she landed and I was like, all right, I'm about to go pick her up from the airport, and I asked him, like, do you want to come? And he was like, no, just go get her. I'll get home before you guys, but I'm gonna just shower and stuff, and I'll meet you guys at your house. And we were like, all right, cool.
Suspect.
No, because I want to say he called her or whatever happened. He had already talked to her and told her pretty much like the same thing, right? Or we had called her. I don't remember. Anyways, I picked her up from the airport. It was so cool. So she's like, what have you been doing waiting for me? And I was like, oh, I just, I had lunch with him, and we just kind of hung out for a couple hours until your plane landed. And she went crazy. I have never seen this woman go crazy ever in my life except that day. Like, she was batshit crazy upset. You would have thought that, like, I cheated on her with some stranger. Like, you would have thought I hung out with her like arch nemesis. It was really crazy. And I was like, why are you so mad? Like, I was genuinely confused. So I was like, bro, you're mad. She didn't speak to me for like 2 hours driving down on this like 5-hour drive. And I ended up getting to the point where I had to call him so he could just talk to her because I didn't know what she was thinking. So he's trying to talk to her and just tell her, like, we were just waiting for you because you told us initially this was your schedule. So when it changed, I was already in the area. Like, what am I not supposed to see my girl? Whatever. Anyways, long story short, how you say you felt like that's how you would be feeling. That's how she felt. Mm-hmm. Was that he just didn't want to like see her or spend time with her, or even though this happened because her flights were delayed, she felt like we planned this.
Yeah. It sounds suspect. From the outside in, it sounded like he drove up, hang out with you, and didn't wait for her flight either way, and just left. So y'all had a whole date, but he could have just waited for me to get there, so I could have just joined y'all. What the fuck?
We were all going. Her flight ended up. So originally it was landing in the daytime, but it ended up landing at night, like pretty late at night. So everything was closed anyways. Like by the time her flight landed at like 10 something.
Right, but if he was already there, he could have just waited so we all can go home.
I want to say he left maybe like 30 minutes before. I don't remember what happened, but he was Anyways, I was like, what? He's literally gonna meet us at home tonight. When we get home, he's already going to be at the house.
But y'all had done everything else together with him prior to that, right? Y'all being in a relationship, unless it was just them two, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I think.
I know.
But we were still super new in our relationship, I think, at that time. But it was just weird. Like,
yeah.
I was like, what?
I don't think. And especially like, and those are drastically different. Like, this is a man. A man can give you some things that I can't give you. Same. This is a woman. This is the same. Yeah. So if we're two women, y'all are drastically different. I feel like there would be complications in that in some shape or form from either party. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was definitely weird. I was surprisingly cool though.
Of course you were. I wasn't taking a shot at you. I'm just saying. you're just here. Like, do what the fuck you want to do. I'll be over here or I'll be over there. It's cool.
I'm just here.
Not in a bad way. You just accept people for who they are and what they like. You just let people do them.
I do.
So that makes sense.
And it's important.
Yeah, I love this song.
I don't know if you guys could hear it, but our neighbor, he jams out. I guess this is his hour. I don't really know because I'm never really at home at this hour.
This is his hour. He does this every weekend.
That's it?
Literally.
I'm never here, so I've never actually heard it.
He sits on his balcony with like a speaker and just plays music.
It's crazy.
Loud as hell.
I guess there are so many topics that we could talk about, and we've ventured well away from
when we started.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, because I wasn't getting a lot of answers out of you that I needed.
I'm not that stud. It's hard. I'm sorry. I don't have those problems.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to leave you guys here because this is probably a pretty long podcast.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you'd like to tell the people?
Nah, bro. If you a stud and you want to have fun, like, find somebody that makes you feel comfortable and have fucking fun. It doesn't matter how other people look at you and see you as. Like, you're still a woman and you can be penetrated. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's your body, bro. So just be happy and do what you want.
Yeah, I'm with that. Honestly, studs, like, don't put yourself in a box and don't let society put you in a box. You're already going outside of the norm.
Right.
Just keep going. You know what I mean? Go
as far as you want.
Yeah, go into the light.
Go into the abyss.
Yeah. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and cannot explore. And don't close yourselves off, because you know what you might find is that there are a world of things that you actually love or like that you have been closing yourself off to.
For sure.
And the same thing with femmes. Don't let these studs tell you can't strap them. Just surprise them with it.
It don't work like that. I would not suggest that. You should definitely talk about it first. Some of them gonna be cool. Some of them will not. So
fine, talk about it first, then surprise them with it.
Yeah.
No matter what the conversation goes, just still surprise them with it.
She loves that, just like sticking your toe in somebody's mouth, or sticking somebody's toes in your mouth. Just
so he's gotta bring up old stuff.
Hey, I'm just,
This ain't that podcast.
I want them to know that I support you. I pay attention to everything that you say. So I'm throwing receipts. What you want from me, bro?
I want you to not throw receipts out there. Just toss them on the table like that. No. Right. No. Yeah. And also, find somebody that's different than you. Kia and I are so different. We're so different that it's almost weird that it works out. Because we are.
I feel like you need to stop playing me, bro.
Why?
Stop playing me. Why? Like, you always say that.
Well, we are different.
I know, but I'm surprised that it works.
So are other people. Like, no, legit. You guys, like, we have a YouTube, so, a lot of what people note is that we're so different. And people are sometimes, like, shocked, even when meeting us in person, like, that it works the way that it works. Because I feel like when you meet us in person, we're kind of a well-oiled machine. Thank you, Henderson. But we are drastically different.
Yep.
In our approach to most things. Yeah, for sure. But I think that, like, it adds that little bit of excitement even. And like helps us be a little less ignorant to
other perspective, like point of views, perspectives, and
so date people that are different than you, for sure, and be willing to really dive into everything.
Don't be so closed-minded. Because you never know, you could walk into something very beautiful,
and you might like open relationships.
Okay. We're gonna have a lot to talk about off camera, guys.
Just kidding.
Celibacy, open relationships.
We gonna be
kissing celibate. Random people in public.
We gonna be celibate. We gonna be celibate.
Sounds like the 20s theme song.
We gonna be celibate. We not gonna be celibate. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of LACIEOLOGY. This one might have been weird. We're going to see how it actually looks post-production.
Or not. I'm just going to edit it and just throw it out there.
Right. This is our quarantine and chill. Live with it.
Just be conversations with Bae. Thanks, Corona.
Right. Tune in, you guys, next time on LACIEOLOGY. I'm not sure when next time is going to be legit because of Corona. We might make some more podcasts for the following week. Tomorrow, we'll see how I feel about putting makeup on. Thank you guys for tuning in. What's your social media?
You already know. Just go to itsme_Lacie. You'll find me. What? If I really want to find me, go to her page. Support Bae first and come to me later.
I can't. If you guys are listening to this podcast on a podcast streaming source, remember you can find it on YouTube. Just go to the search bar and type in LACIOLOGY or Lacie and Freshie Productions. And if you are watching this on YouTube right now, hey, you can also find this on pretty much every platform for podcast. Just go to any streaming source, for real, and type in LACIOLOGY and listen to me and Bae as you're driving home from work or going to work, because that's about all we can go right now.
Right. Hey, another thing I wanted to tell y'all is make sure y'all sharing it. Like, if y'all listening to it every week, which some of you guys are, make sure you share it to your friends and family, because a lot of these conversations are conversations everybody needs to be talking about, which is why I really enjoy the show and helping produce it. Share it. Let's actually open the society's minds and conversations.
Conversation.
Gang, gang.
Bye, guys.
Peace.